So as we notice it now, presently we are studying which chapter? So chemical reactions and equations. Yes or no? So in last class, as I told you, the few examples, how we can say either which is a chemical reaction or which is a physical reaction, or we can say chemical reactions which is carried out, chemical changes are carried out in chemical reactions, and as well as physical changes is carried out in physical reactions. So now let us see in detail, we'll proceed. So till magnesium example, we have been burning of magnesium, we have studied. Is it yes, guys? Yes. So from there, we'll continue today. So now if you notice it very carefully, so burning of magnesium. So as we have been considered, first of all, what is chemical change? So the chemical change means with the new substances are formed with the new chemical properties. They are only we used to call it as chemical changes. So now, if I have been taken in the last class, so as I told you, so it's a lot of examples for chemical changes, if you can see. So now magnesium plus oxygen, if you burn the magnesium in air, so we are going to get what? So magnesium, which will be available in what, guys? Magnesium is available in what? In the form of a ribbon. Yes or no? Magnesium is present in the form of a ribbon. So next, if you burn in the presence of oxygen, that is, oxygen is coming from where? From air. Then the burning reaction, it is used to get a white powder. So what is that powder we used to call it as? What is that?
Magnesium
We have to heat it. So we used to get what? A magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. So that is what we used to call it as a white powder. Is it yes or no? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is what we have been studied. So if you notice it, properties of magnesium is different, properties of oxygen is different, but after reaction, magnesium oxide, the properties is completely different. So that is why this change, what we used to call this change, physical change or chemical change, we used to call
Chemical change.
chemical change. That is what you have to remember. So now, if you notice it, so as we can say, so in last class, as I told you, so before going to burn the magnesium ribbon or before going to heat the magnesium ribbon, so we have to remember two safety precautions. Okay. So I will teach you the activity also, how you need to do. But while you are proceeding a burning or a magnesium ribbon, we have to remember the two conditions. The first condition is what, guys? We have to rub the rubbing with the sandpaper. So before burning in air, the magnesium ribbon is cleaned by rubbing with the sandpaper. So why it is, anybody, why we should rub with the sandpaper? Even yesterday I told you the reason also. Why we should rub with the sandpaper, Mukesh?
To remove the
It's already coated by
Yes.
magnesium.
So it is coated by a protective layer. So that is what we used to call as, it is a magnesium oxide, or even majority magnesium oxide or magnesium carbonate. So magnesium oxide only majorly will consider. So when it is exposed to the atmosphere, magnesium stream, so slow process, it is not a fast process. So it is a slow process, so that it is reacting with the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere, so that the reaction between the oxygen and the atmosphere metal, then it will lead to the formation of oxidation reaction. We'll study later. So it will lead to formation of magnesium oxide. So if you start burning, then it won't catch the fire easily. So that is the reason before going to burn, understanding, before burning in air, the magnesium ribbon is cleaned by what? It must be cleaned by rubbing with the sandpaper.
sandpaper.
That is what you have to remember. So in activity also, textbook first page itself, they used to mention in the second point, you can see. We have to rub with the sandpaper. If you're having textbook, you can say, okay, so why we should rub with the sandpaper? Because to remove the protective coating layer, which is formed by slow process of oxidation when the metal is exposed to the atmosphere. So that phenomena only, what is a common phenomena we used to call it as I told you, the spoiling of metals. That is only we used to call it as corrosion. Yes or no? So to remove oxides which is formed by oxidation process, we have to remove that. So that is why we have to rubbing with the sandpaper. So the protective layer of which layer it is? What is the protective layer? Pradosh, the
Magnesium
protective
oxide.
layer is called as magnesium oxide.
Magnesium oxide.
Okay. So to remove that, so later only we have to proceed for the burning reaction. So that is what you have to remember. And the second one, then only it is readily combined with the oxygen of air on heating. And the second point you have to remember, so as you will burn, yesterday I have shown you what kind of flame will come, Shruti? What kind of flame will come?
Dazzling white flame.
Dazzling flame.
White light. Yes or no? So dazzling white light will come. This light is very, very dangerous. Understand? So even it will cause us to lose the eye. Understanding? Eye power, sight also. So during very, very bright light is, yes or no? So that is why it will given out during the burning of magnesium ribbon, and this is a very dazzling white light is very harmful. Understanding? So white light is harmful to the eyes. So these are the two things which I have to follow before proceeding the burning of magnesium in the presence of oxygen. So oxygen is coming from where? Oxygen is coming from where?
Air.
That is what you have to remember. So when we are burning the ribbon, it should be burned by keeping it so little bit far as possible from the eyes. So we can even perform this activity, chemical reaction involved in this burning of magnesium ribbon in our laboratory also. So how to perform this activity in laboratory, that is we'll discuss now. So if you go to your chemistry lab, so and if you'll ask them, it is not required, so we are not supposed to waste much magnesium, magnesium strip. Basically it is available in what? It will be available in the form of magnesium ribbon, or we can say magnesium strips. Okay, so now you have to go your lab and you have to ask a lab assistant to give a 2 centimeter magnesium ribbon. So like that. So now you have to hold that magnesium ribbon with the help of pair of tongues. Have you noticed it, everyone? So with the help of pair of tongues. Why we should not touch with the hand? Because it is a metal, so that it will catch fire also, and if it will hold it, heat will pass, and our hand also will having a possibility to burn. So first of all, you have to take about how much distance? Only 2 centimeter long strip of magnesium ribbon we have to take, and we have to clean it with what? We have to clean it with what, guys?
Sandpaper.
Sandpaper. So that is the point only mentioned in textbook. Why we should clean it with the sandpaper? To remove a protective layer of magnesium oxide, which is formed by the slow oxidation process when it is exposed to the atmosphere. Purima, everyone? So that is what it is. Understand? So we must be clean with a sandpaper, rubbing with a clean sandpaper to remove that protective layer of magnesium oxide. So later we have to hold it with a pair of tongues. You might be notice it here. He is holding with a pair of tongues. Yes or no? Yes. Hold the magnesium ribbon with a pair of tongues at one end, and another end you can see we have to heat it other end on over the Bunsen burner or any gas or whatever it is, you can burn it. One end you have to burn it, another end we have to hold with a pair of tongues. So now if you see, the magnesium ribbon starts catching fire. So later that no need burning gas and all. So once it will catch fire, so when it will catch the fire, once it will reaches the ignition temperature. Do you understand? Class 8 you might be studied. So ignition temperature. So if you want to burn, if your combustion reaction want to take place, 3 things must be there. What is that? First one is combustible substance. Understanding? Substance must be there. Second one what? Ignition temperature. And the third one is oxygen. Oxygen. So these are the 3 necessary factors for burning reaction. So here we have combustible substance, magnesium ribbon we have, but ignition temperature means what? At the point where they will catch the fire, at the temperature where a particular substance will catch the fire, it is called as ignition temperature. And oxygen is compulsory because combustion will take place or burning will carried out only in the presence of oxygen. So once the magnesium ribbon will catch the fire, then you can off the burner also, or else you can keep it side and you can see we are you can see it is burning with now the burning magnesium ribbon is there. So burning magnesium ribbon, it will burn with what flame? It is burning with a
Dazzling white flame.
Dazzling white.
dazzling white flame. Do you understand? It is burning with a dazzling white flame. So that is only we are collecting in which glass? We are collecting in watch glass or a Chinese dish, whatever it is. If you collect it, Kal to Mane, Samaya, and Aswita, and as well as boys who is missing, Pradosh is missing. Pradosh is joined up. Okay. So that is, so it will burn with a dazzling white flame. So hold this magnesium ribbon over a watch glass so that the magnesium powder is used to collect here. So what is the color of this magnesium powder, Mukesh Karthik? What is the color of this? I told you. It is what?
White powder.
White color powder.
Silvery one.
Yeah, no silvery blue not. That is a metal, magnesium metal is silvery gray. Understand, Shruti? The powder is white color powder. Don't get confused with it. Magnesium color, magnesium strip color is silvery white. Understand? Magnesium is a silvery white color. Understand, Shruti? But magnesium oxide powder, it is a white powder. Okay.
White powder.
So don't get confused. So silvery white color is the color of the magnesium strip. What is the color of magnesium oxide, guys? What is the color of magnesium oxide?
White powder.
Powder. Understand, Manish? It is the white powder. That is what you have to remember. So this is how we need to perform the activity. So here the main important thing is what? Only why we should rub with the sandpaper. So that is what you have to remember. So why we should rub with the sandpaper? Ishali, to remove the protective coating.
Protective layer.
Understand how the magnesium oxide will form? Because of slow process of slow oxidation process.
Auxiliary.
Understand? Oxidation process which is exposed to the atmosphere. Do you understand? Yes, everybody. So that is what I used to say. So now if you see, it is not only the chemical reactions can be carried out in our science laboratory. So this is all, if you notice it, every activity is carried out in our chemical laboratory. People will think that chemistry is happening, chemical reactions is happening only in chemistry laboratory. But if you notice it, a large number of chemical reactions occur in our daily life. Inside our body is also chemical reactions is taking place. Is it yes or no, guys? Will you accept that? Inside our body is also chemical reactions are taking place. So that is what majority of the reactions in our body, majority of the body inside our inside whatever the actions our body is doing, pumping the blood, this, that, carrying energy, digestion, respiration, etc., lymphatic cells attacking the foreign particles, everything is a chemical change. So that is why in our body there are, due to a chemical change, so many actions are taking place. Majority of the reactions in our body are due to chemical changes only. So inside our body, so whatever the changes is taking place, okay, Laksha, you concentrate on the lesson. So inside our body, if you notice it, so most of the reactions is taking place due to what, guys? Due to chemical changes. So, but we cannot say it is a chemical reaction because it is taking place inside our body. So that is why these chemical changes we used to call it as biochemical changes. What was to call? Biochemical changes, or we can say biochemical reactions. Why we should call it as biochemical reactions? Anybody? Because these reactions is carried out where? If it is carried out in laboratory or outside, we can say it is a chemical reaction. But it's taking place where? Inside our body. So that is why they are called as what? We have to call it as what?
Biochemical changes.
Chemical changes or biochemical reactions. So this is all about you have to remember. So if you make it in physical changes, no new chemical substances are formed. So only physical appearance or physical state will change. But in chemical changes, new substances will form with entirely different properties. That is the difference between the physical state and chemical state. Okay, physical changes and chemical changes. So physical changes, what is only changes, Maitreyan? Physical changes. So physical changes is happening. Only what is happening? Either the physical appearance will change. As I told you yesterday, if I tear the paper into 10 pieces, the physical appearance is changing or not? Please respond.
Sir.
Yes, guys?
Yes.
That is. So in physical change, whenever the physical changes will take place, only physical appearance will change. Understand? Or else, for example, do you have a sponge? So it will compress it. The size is changing or not? Yes
Yes,
or
sir.
no? So that is what it is happening. So physical appearance will change or physical state will change. Physical state means how many states of matter we have? Anybody? Physical states will change. So class 9th you studied in the chapter 1, 3 states of matter. One is what? Solid. Second one is
Liquid,
third
gas.
one is gas. So
Gases.
all converting from one state to another state, any matter. For example, if we'll take water, so if we'll freeze it, we are getting ice. If we are evaporating or boiling, we are getting water vapor. So
Water.
physical change or chemical change, anybody? Is it a physical change or chemical
Physical
change?
change.
It is the physical change.
Physical change.
Everywhere the formula is what? Liquid state also formula H2O, chemical state also, solid state also formula is H2O, water vapor also formula is H2O. So that is why this all the processes, melting, understand, boiling, we used to called as what processes? They are the physical processes.
Physical process.
And the same well as cooling, understanding, condensation, and as well as freezing. So this all we used to call it as physical processes only. So physical process, two characteristics will take place. What is that? Either physical appearance will change or physical state will change.
Physical state.
So for example, if you have a sponge will be basically in rectangular shape. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I'll compress it, it will be turns into even round ball also, the sponge. So that we can say it is a physical change or chemical change.
Physical
Physical
change.
change.
Physical.
If you're having a paper, you're having white paper. Now if you'll crumple, if it will turns into a ball, a white paper ball. So that it is what change?
Physical.
Physical.
So physical change, what is happening? The appearance is changing or physical state is changing. So this is what will happen in physical changes. Any doubt? Anybody can ask me. Shall you have you understand?
Sir.
That is. So we have to be very,
Sir.
very in this physical
Sir.
change. But yes, please respond.
Sir, sublimation is physical change or chemical change, sir?
Sublimation is also a physical change only because you can see, for example. So what do you mean by sublimation? Let me take now. So sublimation means converting a solid state to gaseous state directly and else gaseous state to solid state directly. This is what we used to call as sublimation. But sublimation we used to call as deposition. Yes or no? Class 9th you studied.
Yes,
so deposition or we can say simply sublimation, nothing is wrong. So if you notice it, for example, so examples you can take carbon dioxide, dry ice we can call it. What do we used to call it as carbon dioxide? CO2 is to
CO2.
when it is in dry ice in what? Solid state. Now it is gaseous state, we used to call it as what? CO2 we used to call it, but by the time gas. So similar formula is same. Understand, Elmukil? So converting from one to everything is everything. But Srutila is asking chromatography is a physical or chemical change. It is spreading only, Sruti. We are not doing any other thing. So we are just bringing the changes inside what is exposing. So we can say a simple chromatography or paper chromatography is a physical change. And anything we are studying the structure only chromatography. So this all will come only the separation process. Most of them they will come only under the physical process. Understand? Clear, Shruti? Yeah, separation techniques all are physical process. They are not chemical processes. Understand, Elmokil, Pradosh? So that is what. So our gases CO2 will be converting into dry ice. So that is also carbon dioxide only. So remember, all the separation techniques are probably they are physical process only. That is what it is happening. Okay, guys, everybody. So now tearing paper, tearing paper, converting water into ice. These all are examples of physical change because no new product is formed. Only its physical appearances take place or physical status takes place. That is what you have to remember. Now, this is what if the reactions are taking place inside our body, we is to called as biochemical reactions. If it is only physical appearance and physical state is changing, then we can say it is the physical reactions. Now, let us comes to other than magnesium ribbon, burning of magnesium ribbon, if it comes to our real life, we'll be having a plenty of examples of chemical reactions. Plenty, you can make hundreds of examples even for the chemical reactions which we are going to study. So now let us see what is that and how we can make. So now, if you notice, it starts with a curd. So you might be notice it curd. How many of you are eating curd? Yes or no?
Sir.
So now formation of curd you can take. As we know, chemical changes are permanent changes. So that is also you have to remember. So now physical changes we are not discussing. Don't bother. Some are reversible, some are irreversible physical changes. But chemical changes also permanent changes. But some reactions are reversible reactions are there. That is why we cannot use the word permanent and temporary. So but you remember basically chemical changes are permanent changes. Okay. So now formation of curd, from where it will come? Laksha, formation of curd where it will come? It will come from the milk. Correct or not?
Milk.
Milk is converting into curd. Monish, who is converting milk into curd? I am saying it is a chemical change. So chemical change in the sense of somebody should involve. Who is that? Who is converting?
Sir, bacteria.
What bacteria?
Bacteria.
Lactobacillus.
Lactobacteria.
Lactobacteria illness, i.e. lactobacillus. Okay. So lactobacillus is the one who will drink the milk and it will excrete thick along with some viscous fluids from its body. So that is only along with the milk. So that is only ways to called as curd. Understand? So curd is formation of chemical change or physical change. Curd formation is a chemical change. That is remember. Others is not a joint. Girls, anybody is missing? Just verify. Laksha, Aswita is missing, I think. Yes? That is. So now that is. Yes. So like tell me, anybody, what is other examples? Anybody one by one tell me. First of all, Alana, can you message me what is the chemical change you observe in your daily life? Anybody?
Fermentation.
Fermentation. Very good. Fermentation. So fermentation means for preparation of alcohol and all, you might be noticing they will be dumped in a big container, closed container. They will dump all the vegetables, grapes and all, whatever it is. And so that they will add some kind of yeast or something so that they will start reacting with that and they will start forming into the new kind of alcohols. So the fermentation techniques means in Tamil, I don't know exactly, Telugu we can say kulla vettuta, means in the sense of like spoiled vegetables and all, you might be see how it will be. That is what rotten fruits and all we can say. The same way fermentation technique is a chemical technique where we will dump all the raw materials in a one container and we will add some bacteria, yeast or something so that the reaction will be carried out. We used to get a new products. So that is why it is a fermentation is a chemical change we can say. Don't go complicated. Simple life examples in our daily life. What kind of examples you are seeing? Are you eating the fruits? Are you eating the fruit? Yeah. So fruit now, if you take a taste, it will be normal stage. It is we used to called as unripened fruit. If the fruit will become into ripened, unripened and ripened, is a physical or chemical change? Anybody?
Chemical change.
Yes, please. Ripening is a physical change or ripening of fruits is a physical change or chemical change? Anybody? Yeah, cooking raw vegetables. Very good, Mukesh. Chemical change. So ripening fruits is a chemical change. Next, suppose you might be see biogas production. By using a cow dung, we are producing biogas. So biogas production is a chemical change or a physical change? It is the
chemical change.
That is now burning of gas in our home. Are you do you have kitchen? Burning of gas, we are burning, correct? So burning of gas,
LPG.
chemical change. Understand? So that is what. For example, if you decompose, do you have a cow dung? You people will decompose in a particular place where it will be converting into fertilizer. Yes or no? Manure, we can say. Yes, guys? Please
Yes, sir.
respond. Yeah, very good, Laksha. Burning of paper, burning of wood, burning of paper or wood or whatever it is, everything we used to call it as what change, guys? We used to call it as chemical change only. Now, you can take decomposition of organic matter. So if you take like a what we can soaring milk also is very good is so soaring milk also ferment, that is also okay. So next, fermentation of sugar to form alcohol, that is also, sugar means from the grapes and all. Caramel from sugar. What do you mean by caramel? Oh, caramel means some kind of eating item, correct? Yes. So now, fermentation of sugar to alcohol correction. Next, respiration. Our respiration is a what, guys? Breathing is not. Breathing is a physical change. Means only outside air is sending into inside. So breathing is a physical change. But respiration is what? Respiration is a
Chemical
what?
change.
Chemical change.
Chemical change.
Because the air we are getting will be reacting with oxygen and will release us the food which we are eating reacting with oxygen, and it will release us the energy, energy plus carbon dioxide. So new products will come. So that is why respiration is a chemical change. Understand, everybody? So CC I will write chemical change. Same way you can take. So if you burn it anything, so you burn it anything, we used to get carbon dioxide, smoke and ash. It is a physical change or chemical change?
Chemical change.
Chemical change. Very good. So next, same way it will take. So for example, vegetable peels and all, cow dung and all, if I'll go with the decomposition. So decomposition means what? Formation of fertile manure. Yes or no, guys? Yeah, formation of manure is a what? Please respond.
Chemical change.
Decomposition of organic matter. You already know what do you mean by organic matter. Yes or no? Which is not harmful to the nature. So that is all we can say, organic matter. So which is made up of organic bodies, like carbon is one of the major substance. So decomposition of organic matter, which is easily decomposed by the microorganisms. So if the decomposition of organic matter, they will release us the methane gas. What gas they will release? They will release methane gas. So they will form methane gas. Remember, this methane gas also we can call it as Mars gas. Now onwards you should remember. And the formula of methane is CH4. What is that, Monish? Formula of methane? CH4. That is you have to remember. So methane gas also we can call it as what? Mars gas. Okay, that is you have to remember. So burning of fuels, formation of fossil fuels, and etc. etc. Rusting of iron. Rusting of iron is a chemical change or physical change? Anybody, girl? Yeah, chemical change. Photosynthesis also. Sai said photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a physical change or chemical change?
Chemical change.
So that is what? So chemical change. Next, rusting of iron. Rusting of iron is the only
Chemical change.
what we can call corrosion. So complete corrosion is a what? Complete corrosion is chemical change because it will be formed by oxidation. Means react with oxygen. Next, you can see class 8, you might be studied formation of coal. Have you studied under the earth crust? Formation of coal will take place. That is what fossil fuels we can say. Yes or no, guys?
Carbonization.
Yeah, that period we used to call it as carbonization. Formation of carbon under the earth crust. It will take millions of years. So even you can take formation of fossil fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene, whatever it is, we are extracting from the common thing. What is that? Petroleum. And natural gas called as CNG, compressed natural gas. So this formation of petroleum and natural gas, chemical process or physical process?
Chemical
Formation
change.
of petroleum, the chemical process. Understand? So carbonization, formation of, understanding, formation of fossil fuels. So petrol, diesel and all we used to call it as fossil fuels. Yes or no? Fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, this all are called as what? Chemical changes only, because chemical reactions will take place. So we can say that majority of the reactions in our surroundings, we can say it is occurred, then we are having a different chemical properties forms from the original ones. So we can see entirely different properties compared to the initial cases. So before reaction, after reaction, whatever the action. So if you are getting entirely new substances, then that is called as chemical change. Anybody having any doubt, you can ask. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, part.
Yes, sir.
All the things. So now burning of candle wax, that is also. So where candle if will burn, it will be example of both physical and chemical changes. But burning of wicks, if you notice it, the wick, W-I-C-K, wick means what? The thread. So it is this is the candle, middle will be having one thread, correct? So that is what we used to call as wick. And this is called as wax. So wick is it appears again once it will burn the candle, the length of the wick will be keep on decreases. Yes or no, Mukesh? Monesh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Also, so that is what burning of candle. We can say both it is a physical and chemical change, but we can say it is the chemical change only. So burning of candle wax, ripening of fruits, all are changes which involve chemical reactions. That is why we can say all these cases, the nature and identify the initial substances changes because of the chemical reactions which it takes place in it. That is the reason we can say this all the things is the examples of what? Chemical changes. So whatever we have been discussing. So let us see now, somebody of you open your mouth and you say, as I told you, so many things, ripening fruits, burning fuels, formation of carbonization, that is what fossil fuels, etc., etc. Lot of things, respiration, digestion, these are all the things. Now, what the things you people noticed it? Can anybody say what is the characteristics of these chemical reactions? Have you noticed it? Anybody tell me? What is
The properties of reaction and
what
products are different.
kind of changes you observe? That is what I am asking.
New substance is formed. New substance.
Yes. No, what kind of
New
change?
substance is formed, sir.
I'm asking, I know chemical reactions means new substances. Why I'm asking, did you get my point? What kind of changes you people observed? So for example, as I told you, decomposition of organic matter, what it forms, guys? What it forms?
Methane.
Methane.
Methane is a what?
Methane gas.
Gas. Burning of
Gas.
petrol, what it will? Burning of paper, it will produce carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a what? Carbon dioxide.
Gas.
It will produce ash. Ash is a what? It contains carbon. Understand? Carbon. Burning of paper is in white color. But what is the ash color? What is the ash color? Black
Gray.
color.
Gray.
Red, gray or black,
Gray.
whatever it is. Yes or no?
Gray.
Now you tell me, formation of coal. Plants will be different colors. Now coal formation is what? Black color. So this is only what kind of changes you observe. That is what I am asking. So next, burning of fuels, photosynthesis, new substances is coming. Rusting of iron, we can observe the change in color. Yes or no? Please respond. Change in color we can observe. Next, if we burn the fuel, temperature increases or decreases? Temperature increases or decreases? Increases. So change in temperature will take place. And some reactions, new substances, precipitate will form. So that is also very important. So that is what we are going to study now. So, but before going to study reactants and products, so I want to say some more things. That is all we'll discuss in the later things. Now you can see characteristics of chemical reactions, or also we can say features of chemical reactions are chemical changes. So you can keep heading, and in detail we'll discuss one by one with examples. A change in color, shape, new form. So change in shape we can say physical change. Understand, Karthik? Change in shape we used to consider as a physical change. Yes or no, guys? Will you please accept it?
Yes, sir.
One, that is fine. So now you can keep heading characteristics of chemical reactions. So characteristics of chemical reactions, also we can say what? As I told you, features of, or we can say heading what it is? Features. Like a smartphones, how we can say features. So features of chemical reactions, or also we can say what? Chemical changes. Okay. So now one by one you tell me. So what you notice that I told you hundreds of examples. Ripening of fruit, we will start it. Ripening of fruit. What is happening, guys?
Color changes.
Fruit. Suppose mango, unripened mango and ripened mango. What is the change you observe outside structure?
Color, sir.
Yes?
Color.
Color. Very good. Understanding. That also you can write first. But we can start with the first one. Most of the chemical reactions, gas will evolve. So laboratory and all. So that is why we can say evolution of a gas. What is that, guys? Evolution of a gas. Next, second one, formation of precipitate. This alone I will say you, because some reactions will leave you the insoluble solid after the reaction. So that is what we used to call as formation of precipitate. What we used to call? Formation of
precipitation.
Okay, precipitate means insoluble solid. Next, change in color. Understand? Change in color. So you no need to write order. Any order you can write. Change in color. Next, what we observe? Change in
temperature.
Understanding, change in temperature, and as well as if you notice it, milk is in liquid state, yes or no? But solid curd will be in what state? Semi-solid, yes or no? Almost semi-solid. Now change in state is taking place or not? For example, paper is a solid state. Paper is a solid state, but it is producing gases CO2 plus ash carbon. So carbon is a what?
Gas.
Gas is state plus solids. What is happening? Change in state.
Change in state.
Understand everyone? Change in state, it is taking place. Okay. Next, burning of candle or burning of wood or burning